I guess.
Yeah.
Wait, I
Ready.
am opening my
And we are live. How's everybody doing?
Woo!
We're
That's
doing
how I'm doing.
good.
Woo!
I almost said it's Friday, but wrong
We are
day.
back with our main cast today. I'm going based off of what I see on the screen. I don't know what all of my players see, but we have Boss, we have Briar, we have Fox, we have Lakey, Morrigan, DeLacy, and Saphira as our main characters this week because we're doing the every other week now. So different cast of characters than you would have seen last week. And we are waking up on the morning of day 4. Nobody can log out. Well,
Gosh.
and that only counts for
Hey.
our players because our other people are still reeling with the fact that there was a fire just yesterday, in a large chunk of the city. So
We lived. We made
Meanwhile,
it.
the players are keeping their panic low key.
I'm only just now connecting the fire to the inability to log out. And I feel real slow for getting there only now. But I got there. Can you remind us where everyone is at?
I believe all of you stayed the night at the Crocken Bowl, if I recall correctly.
Except for Morgan.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Lakey and Morrigan stayed at Lakey's family home. Everybody else stayed at the Crocken Bowl.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And it is the morning, right?
It is the morning, yes.
Yeah, we found out in the morning, not in the evening, right? About
right. So the morning you try to log out, and there's been messages from the admin saying, "Hey guys, we're gonna move it to tomorrow. Don't worry about it." And you guys are absolutely worrying about it. Technically, your stay in the world is not supposed to be over yet. You are supposed to be here a total of 7 days, and you're only on day 4. But the fact that you can't log out has been concerning to some of you guys. So,
right. Guys, I think we were panicking. Let's just give them a day to see what they can fix. You know? I'm sure it'll be fine.
Says the computer guy. I believe.
Man, wouldn't it be so funny if this was like a horror movie and we couldn't log out? And if you die in the game, you die in real life.
That'd be so funny.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Hilarious, champ.
Good thing that won't happen to us.
Yeah, that could never happen. That only happens in horror movies.
Yeah, and
we're in a comedy
or anime.
Yeah, there's no truck nearby. We won't be isekai'd.
We can't be isekai'd. That don't happen.
I'm literally too cute to be isekai'd. I mean, hello.
Yeah, but I am sure there's a genre where people do get stuck in a video game.
Lacey,
probably
are
a
you
whole
listening
genre.
to all of this?
Let me find out that for you. Okay. No, absolutely not. That was a 3. That's a fucking 3.
There is no coffee in your system. You're not awake enough for any of that.
I believe Briar and Mr. DeLacy is in the kitchen getting everybody coffee.
Irish coffee, if I remember right.
Yeah,
Irish coffee.
So I was being snarky earlier. Like, I wasn't in the room.
I don't know about the parts I wasn't there for.
So in my room, or in the room that Teddy's in, it's Boss and Saphira.
I believe so, yes. So Briar and DeLacy are downstairs.
It's a safe space.
Yes, Boss, Saphira, and you are all upstairs.
Okay, I remember Saphira was freaking out.
No, I'm sorry, you could be downstairs. I forget. I'm not sure of which floor you guys were on last session. I apologize.
We were we were on the second floor. I don't think we've left the room. I think the only people that left were Briar and DeLacy.
Okay,
Mhm.
cool.
Saphira, you can see a level of panic on Saphira's face, and you overheard her typing. Like when she's angry and she's typing out messages, she mutters to herself. So you definitely heard what she said.
I tapped
You were
on
paying attention.
Boss's head. I'm like, go ask her if she's okay.
Boss is gonna waddle up and he's gonna like be fidgeting with his hands a little bit and gently tug on Saphira's dress because he's a little shorter than her to get her attention and just be like, "Hey, are you okay?"
No, I have a sinking suspicion that Caleb is playing a trick,
Oh,
but I can't confirm that.
is that someone you know?
He's my cousin. He's a programmer.
Oh,
Buddy.
so this is just like a haha funny joke. We're not really gonna be like trapped here.
She
Right?
doesn't answer because she doesn't know. She's just looking at you like,
Oh. Boss
We're
is gonna
not
go
gonna
from
be trapped. But the
Teddy.
programmers sound like maybe they're idiots.
Oh no.
Oh.
Real quick, Teddy,
Boss, they let
you
me
recall
hear you.
what?
Shush.
Teddy, you recall that you were in Caleb's office during the brief interlude back at Neuroplay headquarters. You've seen that name
Yes.
before.
I'm seeing the character design he had on his desk. It's all coming back to me. What did that look like?
Blue femme tiefling.
No. No.
You dated an Oni.
That was an Oni, yes.
Yeah.
When I did with Oni,
Different
not a
person.
tiefling.
Slight difference.
It would have been funny if I just didn't remember that.
Has horns, different race.
Oh, my pen's not working. No, of course.
You can
Grab
check
a pen
out
from my
your
desk if
Discord
you want.
channel.
Yeah, I can pull up a notes on here. But anyway, you don't have to wait for me while I'm trying to write down notes.
No worries. Did you guys want to have any other conversations, or should I skip over to Lakey and Morgan?
I'll
I
wait
mean,
for
I
now.
think for now we're chilling until we get coffee, and then next steps I assume would be finding Morgan.
Then I'm gonna pivot to Lakey and Morgan. Morgan, you are by yourself in this house full of rabbits who has begun to stir and wake up. There is definitely some chaos happening. You can't log out. You don't know what's going on.
No. No, I'd assumed it was just me until we got that admin note.
Yeah.
And still kind of confused, but like, I don't know that he's on full panic mode just yet. Like, this seems like a really difficult technological thing to do, so hopefully it does get resolved in, because 24 hours means within an hour, so like that, so far that seems plausible. So he's not necessarily freaking out, but also is aware that there is no one he can talk to in the vicinity that will understand any of this at all. So once that realization is the case, then Morgan is gonna like open the door and look around, trying to find Leke amidst all the other rabbit folk running around and such, trying to follow his voice. Question mark.
Given the time of day, Lakey is probably somewhere in either one of the front sitting rooms being mauled by his siblings or in the kitchen.
So look for his height.
Good point. Just look up.
There are definitely quite a number of young children milling around, with a couple of parrots trying to run herd, and mostly failing, because they just have more energy. even at this early hour of the day. They're just praying that they burn out early and take a nap.
Yeah, Doug can't help sort of smiling at themselves at this. Never had this many goddamn kids. Doesn't know how they're pulling it off, but they're cute. It's adorable, but he also knows it's weird for a guy to just start helping some children out. So is mostly going to try to stay out of people's ways for now. And when easier or necessary, just kind of fly up above a little patch of kids here or there. Just kind of weaving through, and I suppose finds Leke being mauled by a child or two.
Yeah, I mean, for comedy's sake, if you're gonna fly over everything,
Yeah.
then you're probably gonna come upon a small teeming mass,
Yeah.
like a seething mass of very small humanity, rabbinity.
Rabbinity, yeah.
Sure. Of course, now my brain is just picturing a bunch of very small rabbis, and I cannot. Yeah. So, benignity. Just a teeming mass of small rabbit children, who have, like, basically Gullivered Lakey. Like, there's a little bit of Brobdingnag happening here. Brobdingnag, Lilliput. I can never remember which one's which, but yeah, no, he's definitely getting jumped on and flopped on and wrestled and maimed and the usual.
And his reaction to this is like, does Leke seem like particularly overwhelmed or?
No, he's just going with it. Like, it's the big brother. We're gonna play with the small creatures that infest my home.
Sure.
As emotional support eldest children often do. But no, he's genuinely engaging with them. There's wrestling and playing and shenanigans.
I have a question for Lakey. Have you given your sibling the toy sword?
Right now. Yes, absolutely, and is entirely regretting it.
Oh dear.
Which sibling was it? Woolelemy that you gave it to, or Woolelemy is absolutely going nuts.
Yup.
Your mother is doing her best to keep her from hitting the other children, but seems to be like declaring themselves king using the sword. For the household.
For her.
From the play, can you tell, like, if there's a particular kind of creature she's trying to slay or anything of that nature?
No, just
Okay.
slaying her siblings and saying, "I'm going to send you to the dungeons," things like that. Definitely like doing the royal court fantasy shenanigans of young children who have only watched a couple of King Arthur movies. I have no idea what's happening.
The semi-benevolent ruler.
Blade.
Ridiculous.
As it should be.
Okay. I was double checking my magic trick to see if I could do anything to kind of help with this, and I don't think very much so at all. Unless I make an interesting sound happen in the next room, maybe.
Just an ice cream man drives by through the living room, like, what?
That'd be hilarious. They don't know what it means, but it's just the Ice Cream Man song outside.
They are perplexed by the sound and decide to go investigate as a herd of rabbits careens through the house.
All right, very cute. Okay.
Yeah, like, he's gonna, like, just kind of stretch out and just lie there for a minute, just enjoying the fact that his limbs are no longer infested. Just kind of take a deep breath and be one with the floor.
It's a wonder you're not completely buffed out being lifting all those guys all the time.
They do most of the heavy lifting. I just kind of have to be here. That's really all they're looking for.
Buffeted, more like.
Yeah.
Well, you're a good
Yes.
sport, I guess. You take as long as you need, but then I'm heading back to the Kraken Bowl to meet back up with people.
I should probably make my escape now. I don't know when I might get another chance.
Sure, yeah.
Lakey,
You know
Lakey's
what?
gonna.
You know what? Doug is actually going to fly up to Lakey height level and place a little hand on his shoulder and oh no, not place a hand on it. I gotta wave my hand. Do a small little hand wave. What am I gonna whisper? I'll be sure that you have an extra restful night next time. Small wave, casting Ren's delightful dream.
Aw.
Oh.
So next time you fall asleep, you'll have a really comforting dream. You'll wake up feeling beloved and forget any grudges you have.
That's very kind of you. Thank you.
Shut up. It's whatever. Let's go.
Quick question for the guide before we go any. Those are not the right dice. Those dice will not help me. Those dice will not give me answers. We've proven that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, tune in next week. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, there were Ronan's dice that I grabbed. Does Lakey, and this can be for later, but I wanted to bring it up as a thing to consider. Are any members of Lakey's family acting weird this morning?
Not that you can tell.
Okay.
They all seem to be doing the usual things that they do kind of every morning. Obviously, the kids are doing exactly what they always do. It's a weekend, so the kids are not in school. Your mom's cooking in the kitchen, dad's off at work, your aunt's also helping in the kitchen, and there's a couple of other family members kind of keeping an eye on the kids, cleaning up around the house. It's kind of standard fare.
Yeah. Totally understandable.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, Lakey's gonna head out with Morgan. Is Mahalia anywhere? Do we see her on our way
Is
out?
still there. If you want to talk to her at all, or have her tag along with you.
Really, just more curiosity than anything. Lakey is gonna ask Morgan if she needs to stop in though.
Yeah, I guess I should say something. I mean, is it okay? Is it actually all right that she's here? Because I can usher her out if this is too much.
You
know?
saw what I just dealt with, right?
Yeah.
You really
but
think
she's
that
like
one more person is gonna matter at all to that?
Well, when they're Mahalia, that's gotta be worth at least 3 kids. I don't know.
She's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna say like a brief goodbye. See you at whatever time for the performance later. Goodbye to Mahalia then.
Mahalia says, "Oh, good morning, Morgan. Yes, I'll see you later. Last day. We're doing well."
Oh yeah, last day. Hey, what are we gonna do after today? If the last day is of the performance is today.
You know, we travel to our next performance in another city.
Right. Okay, and what city are we going to next?
Well, we were going to travel to Indarmin, but I'm sure we'll stop at the Kells or maybe some ports along the way, see if we can find any side gigs, maybe a tavern or two.
Very interesting. Okay. Well, I will see you later.
And she goes back to sipping tea, which is what she was doing with Lakey's grandmother. They are actually quite tranquil and peaceful compared to the chaos of the rest of the house. The children seem to be giving Nagatam and Mahalia a little bit of a grace area where they just there's kind of like a bubble that they just don't cross. There's nothing physically stopping them. They're just
It's an
there's
aura.
a vibe.
It's an aura. Area of effect protection spell. 100%.
And you guys head back out to the Kraken Bowl. I'm going to pivot back over to DeLacy and Briar, who have been making coffee.
Yeah. DeLacy is so robotic about it. You're not sure if his eyes are quite open yet.
So, Mr. DeLacy, how do you take your coffee?
Black.
Simple. Respect.
How about you, Doctor?
Me personally, I'm more of a tea guy. But when I have the choice, I prefer a gentler palate, like cream, sugar, if I can help it.
What kind of tea do you tend to fancy?
Chai. It's a little spicy with some cinnamon in it, but and
I was about to
cumin.
say a little kick to it.
Yeah. But it makes a lovely latte though.
Is that a thing here?
Well, I mean, I like putting cream in it, so I call it a.
That was more of a guide question. I don't know if that's like a thing in universe.
I'll leave that up to y'all. Do you think it would be a thing here? You are the players. You make up the world.
Dang it, Ashley!
Now it's a thing, because Ashley said
I'm
it.
gonna say that in our modern era, there is a version of lattes, but you don't have the technology to make exactly what you would get at Starbucks, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
But
you can make a milk frothy.
You could make a version of it, yeah.
A version, yes.
Okay. I was like, is that a specialty from?
It's an amalgamation of the places I've been to.
That's all.
I think chai was introduced to me through Zev. At least I think so. Vague recollection there. You know, back in that time.
You don't gotta talk about it if you don't want to, son.
And we had some preserved milk on hand, you know, war rations and all. Really goopy stuff. But it was more of a syrup. But it made it, you know, creamy and sweet at the same time, so.
All right. His hands are working like regularly, but he's like nodding and showing he's listening.
And Briar's being busy as well, loading mugs on a tray so he can hoist everything up at the second level. Because Ashley used to be a server. Which reminds me, I should probably report to Ziv, assuming he's at the clinic today. I wouldn't blame him if he just passed out, though. He was still...
Shoot, no. I mean, we all did. I would not fault him one bit.
Yeah. He was in rough shape. but I couldn't peel him away and want to be peeled. So I wasn't sure where the boundaries were.
I mean, if you're worried before any sort of plan is made for the rest of the day, and we're bringing this upstairs because I cannot handle this all on my own. You want to run off and check on him?
Yeah. Well, maybe after the coffee. I definitely need to be caffeinated for this. So
Ask
no
you
worries.
a question. Do you see the stuff here to make one of them chai lattes? You called it?
Let me see.
Only because I'm thinking maybe you could bring him one if you go to check on him.
That is a valid point. I rolled a 4, so I'm not seeing anything.
Hold on, let me check and see. Oh, 14.
Oh,
You remember where the tea is on the bar from the prior day, where Morrigan had been talking about tea before your conversation? Yes.
Doug it owns a cafe and makes really good lattes and stuff. Just in case you do roll badly, there's.
But yes, the ingredients are available to you should you want to make some.
Lacey Moore just points them out to Briar because he's not making it. It's not for his paramour. Like, yeah, there, it's right there and there and there. Kind of like nudging Briar, like, you do it.
Good eye. Thank you, Mr. Lacey.
Well, they can't see some colors, but they can see some objects. That's for sure.
And he takes a moment to smell the chai and make sure it's good. And he starts working on the cream or milk. Yeah, milk. Yes. A little bit of sugar and steeps some tea.
Out of curiosity, DeLacy sniffs the chai and he has that reaction of like a cat who has sniffed a very strong scent, but it's like a split second. You get that.
Winch. Yep.
We don't get stinky face.
No. Oh, actually.
Are we rolling for it?
That's a 9. You do not get stinky face. Which is not quite. It's almost stinky face, but not quite.
Amazing.
In real life, I have a cat whose name is Cheney. We named her after Lon Chaney. She's got a little werewolf shape on her forehead. She always wants to be included whenever there's food, but if you offer it to her, she will smell it and then immediately recoil with the blinky ooh face. Like you've offered her something horrible no matter what it is. It's really funny.
Oh.
She's the only cat we've ever had that does not do table scraps.
No.
But I'm going to say that you guys... Oh, go ahead.
I dropped my dice.
Oh, no. I'm sorry.
We'll get them.
I'm going to say that you guys finish making at least your batch of coffee for your friends upstairs, and that Lakey and Morrigan arrive in the front room as well.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, hey. Seeing them across the way.
Morning.
I wanted to talk to you. One of you anyway. Sorry, it's Brian. It's not you.
Oh,
I thought you didn't remember which one.
Be way funnier.
Have at it. Brian, I'll bring these upstairs to give you all a little privacy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course. He's gonna take the tray of drinks and bring it upstairs for everybody.
Real quick, Lakey, give me a roll.
No.
Uh-oh.
Okay. What did you roll?
It was a 7.
Okay, that's not that bad.
I was just seeing if that would work, because if it did, I would have used it in other places.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Oh, God.
Sorry, no. Anytime the DM says that, I do worry.
It's really fine. It was just something that you would have observed had you rolled higher. Nothing crazy.
too early for this. Shush. You know.
Did I do something?
I guess Morgan and Briar, if you want to roll as well, because it sounds like
Okay.
DeLacy's going upstairs, you can roll as well.
Oh no, that's a 3. Ooh. Nope.
Oh, I rolled an 8.
Yo,
Do you want me to try to see if I notice anything before I leave?
sure, go for it.
Hey, cat die, don't fail me now. No, that's a 2. I'm out of here.
Okay, so I'm
He's
going to tell
gone,
you
baby,
what you
gone.
didn't see, which is Balthy hugging
Thanks,
Mika.
Brian Ironguard.
Balthy is hugging Mika, who has finally come home
Aw,
after having
that's
been out all
sweet.
night. Her clothes are absolutely covered in ash and soot. Her hair is singed in several different places, and Balthy's just happy that she's home safe. But she seems unharmed. So you don't see that, but she is alive.
Yay, Mika.
Good for
There's too many
good for
people
her.
in the room. It's just there's
Yeah.
too many people that they've housed from the fires. So there's just too many people. You don't spot it.
It's valid.
And Morgan, you are approaching Briar.
Who has full attention on Morgan.
So,
you got the thing today?
yeah, I got a thing. It was weird. You got it too. Everyone
Uh-huh.
got that thing? Okay.
Um,
So that's weird.
uh,
That's a 3. Lakey has no idea that you are even talking to each other, let alone
but
having a
he's
weird and
just
cryptic
disassociated.
conversation.
Lakey is having a panic attack because this room is as crowded as home.
I think Lakey's actually scanning the room and seeing if everybody is like stable, because he's still aware that there was a fire, and he's
Mhm.
instead of having the panic attack, I think he's still kind of in parent hive mind mode that he's used to
Sure.
being in at home. So he's just like, because there's a nut, like it's off. The vibe is
Mhm.
off. It's not rancid, but it's off, and that like kind of makes him like pings him into hypervigilance a little bit. So he's looking at
Yeah.
everyone else and not the people he trusts to be okay.
Right. I think you would notice that, there's people sitting around on their bedrolls, huddling up, trying to gain their bearings. Some of them know that they've lost their homes. Some of the bedrolls are empty at the moment, maybe families that have gone out to look. But everybody does seem stable. There is a great deal less stew in the pot than normal, because of the increased number of people that are staying there.
I think Lakey's gonna look around for Balthy and notice Mika, and then just excuse himself and head back toward the kitchen and start prepping and cooking.
Um, meanwhile, Briar's giving Morgan the lowdown of what to expect upstairs.
hmm
Boss disassociated. Fox is rationalizing, and
Mhm.
Saphira is
Angry,
is-
panicking.
I don't want to say she's a volcano.
Oh,
Um,
is
but
it bad that I'm kind of intrigued? That's bad. That's really bad. I'm sorry.
no, it's fine. She's doing her best to be stoic, but I think, like the rest of us, there's a level of worry and things. So I'm
No one's just taking it like it's a, I don't know, just a technical difficulty. Everyone is really
yeah, I'm hoping that too.
okay.
Just I think the knee jerk reaction is what if this is permanent and everything. So eh, um
Yeah. I mean,
because
no one likes being
there's
out of control, so I guess there's that.
yeah,
All right.
and
I promise I won't be as much of an asshole as I usually am when I go meet with everyone.
probably appreciated. You have a cafe on the other side, right?
Oh yeah.
Um,
I forgot what
so
I
I just
named it. I
need
named
a
it some
chai
good
latte.
pun. Oh well.
Oh
Anyway.
no, I don't think you mentioned it in game. I don't know it.
Okay. Oh, never mind. Sorry.
Quick,
What were you
pull up
saying?
your sheet.
Well, I don't know if I wrote it there either. It's not important. This is so not important. I sent it to
yes, it is.
like
It's flavor.
the ages ago, but it doesn't.
Flavor is
Oh no.
important.
This isn't worth it. I'll look it up during the break and just know that Doug mentions like, "Oh yeah, it's named this in this moment." Oh, I remember now. Yeah. No, wait, is that right? I think I chose express yourself. Or no. That sounds right. Something like that.
I love that. Espresso yourself. That's beautiful.
Espresso self, yeah. It's cute.
Express. That's genius. Right. So, would you mind sampling this tea for me?
Oh, you made some tea? Alright, yeah, let's see.
At least I tried. For some reason, I can't cook for squat, which is infuriating to me.
Yeah,
But
you cook. That's your thing,
I know
right?
like
Yeah.
maybe it's because of these meaty claws. I don't know. But
Oh yeah, I got these tiny things. Who knows if I can do anything I used to do. Wait, I'll try. Yeah. Um is this a roll? I don't know how good this is.
I'll roll for it to
Okay.
see how well I did. Oh, come on, dice. Oh, look at that. I rolled a 16. So I did decent. Ish.
No, that's really good. I mean, I understand that you probably can't really get the milk to froth completely right, but like the flavor profile's all there. It's really good.
Oh, good. I just need to do that again. Okay. Um,
So wait, who is this for?
well,
What?
I'm thinking of heading to the clinic to check up on Zev.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't know how much that's going to matter, but I don't know, something's bugging me about him. And I mean, if we're going to be here for another 24 hours, I may as well fall through on that curiosity.
No, I
Um,
understand. It's real easy to care about people here, like kind of weirdly.
yeah.
There's a loud
And
crash followed by a curse coming from the kitchen as Lakey drops something.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Flies over.
that's oddly comforting.
It was just a bowl that he was washing. There's just a little bit of water in the kitchen. He's already gone for the mop.
I'm gonna
This
say that
idiot.
breaks the spell, and you guys can choose to regroup upstairs, or if everybody wants to come downstairs. What do you guys want to do with your day?
Gonna drink the whole coffee, then head on downstairs.
Boss is gonna do the
That's
same
it.
thing and is gonna link up with Fox, like with like the little hook arms. After he has a whole Irish coffee.
That height discrepancy, though.
Right. You could just be on my shoulders, bud. Yeah,
Yeah, he's gonna just like
just
up
climb.
on. Just not gonna ask, just gonna start climbing,
But
and you feel your
please
shirt
tell
pull
me
back.
it's like a real awkward climb with like grabbing and then like the foot and the
Yes!
face
Ow,
and like
yeah.
not
just-
being
The
able to
hair.
settle and then almost falling off and grabbing the hair and pulling himself back on.
Yes, exactly.
All
He feels
that.
his pants tug, and then the shirt tug, and then
Ah,
like losing
okay.
balance a little bit, and then plop, 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 plop,
I'm getting a
plop,
wider
and then-
stance.
And then he loses balance and then wraps his arms around Fox's neck by accident, not meaning to kind of choke him, but kind of does.
Uh-huh,
And then regains balance.
Okay.
And then
Fox quickly just grabs him by the scruff of the neck if he has it, puts him on his shoulders.
He's wearing a scarf.
Oh, the scarf.
yeah, yeah. Just like just,
Perfect.
Boss is just gonna be like, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, head
Onwards,
downstairs.
my steed.
Nerd. We head down the
Andy,
stairs.
Drunk frog. Oh no.
Meeting up with folks in the kitchen. Is everyone helping out in the kitchen, or is it just like I assume.
After everybody had their coffees, DeLacy's bringing the mugs down with the intent to wash them. So he's back into the dishwasher.
Okay, right on. Right on.
You guys just watch Saphira take the cup and just down it in like one long gulp. And then pulls out her
It's a hot
notebook
coffee.
and flips and like types out. And you can tell that she's kind of a little bit more calm about how she's responding, but she does type out a message and just be like, Caleb, if this is you, please get back in touch. And send, and then doesn't even wait for a response, closes her notebook, sits there and goes, and then walks downstairs.
I have a DM question. We're able to communicate. Is it like a keyboard, or are we writing with like a quill or something?
I had kind of envisioned it to be more like a keyboard, because that's kind of like what you guys would expect from a video game, essentially. So it's a little bit more like a keyboard than it is writing with a quill.
Excellent.
All right. Everybody's downstairs. Lakey. Mika pulls you aside really briefly and hands you this very badly burned piece of fabric that is the remains of the scarf that you loaned her during the fire that was Morrigan's little handkerchief.
I mean, one of them, Lakey had two.
Yeah, he did have
I'm
at least
really
two now.
sorry.
Also, no, hang on, time out. Back that train up. Lakey very intentionally gave Mika his own handkerchief and kept both Morgan's scarves for himself.
In that case, she's just returning your scarf, though, and she says, I am really sorry. It's not how I like to return things that have been borrowed, but I don't know that this is salvageable.
He just looks at it, and it's kind of the same way where you take a child very seriously and they're not expecting it. Like, it's just that unexpected, like,
Mika
kind of
is
vibe.
Probably freshly 18. She's very much still in that mindset of being a young adult.
It is. He just kind of like nods and folds it and tucks it back into his pocket like it's perfectly fine and says, I'm glad it served you well. Is there anything else I can do to support you? And like, that's it. Like, he just kind of.
And she says, no, thank you. And scrambles, like eager to get away from that stressful, because she thought you might be mad for some part of her brain, because she hasn't slept. It's nothing, no reflection upon you. She's just overthinking things.
Yeah. Lakey's family are rabbits. He's absolutely there for people having feels about stuff and worrying about potentials instead of actual behavior patterns. But yeah, he just goes back to cooking and making sure the pot gets filled back up so that and doing the tours around the room, just making sure that everybody's okay, nobody needs anything, bringing bowls over to people who look particularly like beat up still or shell shocked, just making sure they get something in them. Here's a question, and this is an out of game question mostly for the player. Are there any other like you would call them book death cultists here? Or is it mostly just
Among
NPCs?
the people that are on the bedrolls, you would not see any.
Okay. So it's pretty much just like my crew of idiots.
Pretty much, yeah. Of the ones that you can see, you've definitely seen some as like visitors in the past couple of days. That you've been in there, but like you guys haven't interacted with them. Obviously, you met Lisa at one point,
Right.
who had been there as well. But there might be a couple more up in the rooms, but down on the bedrolls, as victims of the fire, you don't see any.
Which checks out. I was just checking in. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's Lakey's MO right now.
Okay. Yes.
Fox kind of wants to scroll away into a corner somewhere and try to bring up the command window or some sort of any kind of commands he could try to put into the text to get any kind of command window to come up, any kind of script.
Give me a roll.
Okay. Oh, a 7.
The basic ones that you could think to try don't seem to be working, so you're trying to figure out what's going on, but you just can't quite get it on the first try.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to figure out how to get past those encryption codes.
So many safety measures.
Yeah.
Balthy is now back behind the bar, and he talks to you guys and says, "Oh, you guys gonna go back down to the festival today?"
Is there still a festival?
I assume so. Last day.
Oh yeah.
Well,
the
yeah, I
fire
gotta
burning.
be there at some point for performance, so.
And, it's only morning performances, from what I understand, because the king always does the speech, and that's kind of the end.
I didn't realize it was going to be a shorter day for the festival.
Usually.
Fear kind of looks down at herself and goes, I should probably change.
Boss hears that and then scrambles down off of Fox and rushes over to wobbles, I guess, because of the Irish coffee, over to
dear.
Sophia and goes, "Are we gonna have another makeover montage?"
Everything in me wants to say yes, but probably not.
I mean, we can do a time skip.
I do want to say that when DeLacy hears the mention of the king's speech, everything he had wanted to tell everyone on the train but had completely forgotten about in lieu of like fire comes back to him, and he actually drops one of the mugs he was cleaning in the thing.
You all right, man?
Lakey just sighs and goes to get the broom again.
So now I'll handle that. You got your hands full already. Please let me handle this. And he's not even gonna try and hide it. He's clearly like something's going on behind there.
Need a family meeting.
Lakey's just gonna stop and be like, I can't remember where I left the dustpan. Do you need to come help me find it?
I think that'd be a good idea. Yeah, I'm gonna try.
Let's all go
jump in
find the
corner, apparently.
dustpan.
Great.
Nika, who's now standing in the room with you, holding the dustpan, looks very confused. As all of you leave the room.
Or do I have to roll to come up with a good excuse for this?
Nope. You just keep going. Keep going.
No. The Curb Your Enthusiasm theme song is absolutely playing.
Yeah.
As we walk away.
Come join me in my corner.
I thought we were all piling back into the kitchen.
Oh, into the kitchen.
Yeah.
Back
All
behind, even further than the window from which fry cooks look at you.
We're all back. I don't know if they have a walk-in freezer, but if they do have one, we're in it.
We're in it.
They have a storage pantry that's underground. You can go down in there.
Ooh.
Oh, that's nice and
Heck
chilly.
yeah.
Into the
Hell
root
yeah.
cellar, kids.
Into the root cellar. This is so normal. Nobody looked this way. Normal.
It is
We work here.
It is a little bit cold down there, but it's not terrible. It's enough to keep the food fresh a little bit longer.
Okay.
Fabulous. And he's sort of like rubbing his hands together. And what could be like something to do with the cold, but he's covered in fur. It's not the cold.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just super nervous and goes, oh, shit, they didn't really get a chance to rehearse how I was going to approach this. I'm realizing. I had a moment when we was helping our friend get on her ship. And I made a connection in my head that I didn't anticipate making, and then the fire happened and it got away from me. I finally realized where I seen our friend Hale's features. I feel like an idiot. I didn't realize it beforehand. I think our friend has a bit of divinity in him.
Oh.
How much a bit?
A bit in well, guess whose eyes have been removed from the city?
Oh.
Boss still like a little. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
Boss I was gonna have him while he's still like buzzed go divinity.
Okay, don't hurt
Good
yourself, boss.
Good job. I'm proud of
I
you.
did it.
Got it in one.
I said the word.
Good job. I should not have given him that much alcohol.
Oh, bless it.
What alcohol did you guys give him?
I didn't think it was a lot. It was just a shot.
Look at him.
Got a small body.
Maybe he'll metabolize fast. I don't know. And end of the story is that clicked. Dealing with our friend, and then the fire happened, and it just left. I don't know what to do with this.
You suspect that Hale is a demigod?
I have a very, very good reason to think he might be. And in addition to it, who he's the child of, having all her statues removed from the city. That's the way the gods can look through the eyes of their statues. Who in the hell is keeping a mama from checking in on her cub?
And if she's the mom, who's the dad?
That's a good question. He says with that face up, that is not the point of what I'm saying.
The Ronin part of my brain is screaming to be a part of this conversation so bad. I apologize for all of the weird faces that I'm making. I'm having a struggle.
Well, because I'm looking at them going like, is this not the time to be saying this? Is this not the people to be saying this to? Lakey, please give me your approval on this.
The facial expressions...
Lakey just nods stoically.
The facial expressions Saphira is going through is very much a Southern girl wanting to say, bless your heart.
So, what do we do?
I don't know. I just got as far as telling y'all and seeing if y'all
Oh.
thought I was crazy.
Okay,
That
so
doesn't sound crazy to me.
he was kidnapped. He's being kept from his mother?
I don't know if in his journal there's some talk about being at a monastery before he was brought here. And Ariel's very involved with her children. Unless he was being kept from her, she'd be around, and I can't help thinking like all those statues being removed has something to do with it.
I think the more important question we need to ask is, how do we prove your theory?
I ain't no lawyer, ma'am.
Because the biggest hurdle we have is when we talk to him, he goes fuzzy. When we broach the subject, he system reboots almost.
Well, here's the thing. That collar around his neck has rune magic attached to it. Now I know it's a little more delicate than your practice sessions. As he looks to like Fox, Briar, and Lake, he's like, I know it's a little more complex than the practice sessions, but I have a feeling if that gets off of him and he can wander a bit farther, it might help his head.
Mm-hmm.
But
We know at
again,
the
that
very
is-
least he's being held there, and
and I
not
don't know
so
why.
with his will. Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
don't
this
know
king
why.
is trying.
Also under constant supervision.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't rightly know why.
You guys,
and frankly, I
I
am too
know-
concerned with the why.
Real quick, I know some of you guys. I know Fox did. I don't know who else did. Clocked that Galleon was very uncomfortable being around Hale.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that Galleon punk. He seems kind of freaked out by Hale.
Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
Mm. Frankly, I don't give a shit about Galleon's feelings right now.
Well,
He
I
does
just
that
mean
very
I think that
blatantly.
adds some credence.
True, but it also seems like Galleon is one of his watchers.
Mm-hmm.
And is probably in on what Hale is.
Oh, yeah, he'd only be freaked out if he knew.
Exactly.
Delacy keeps looking up to the entrance of the cellar, making sure no one's like listening in or coming down.
You got your cat ears on it. You're fine. You're fine.
Nobody's
I mean-
listening. I rolled a 7 to see if Mika was maybe listening in. Mika is not.
Swivel.
Mika is
And
probably
you'd hear Balti
trying
coming.
to. Mika is probably trying to clean up the coffee cup, but can't because Leaky absolutely took the broom with him.
She's just with the pan, just.
This
I
might
mean,
be
it
better.
was in the sink.
with a towel, you know.
Delacy goes, but I think this is all I had to share with you because we got company incoming.
DeLacy, you may also at this point want to mention that you have a tracker on Hale.
I forgot about that,
But that is
honestly.
up to you if
It was
you
so
want
long
to
ago, I
Make it
forgot. It was so long
I know it's
ago,
been a
I
while.
forgot.
Specifically, you have a tracker on Hale's journal.
Okay.
I don't know if the question is how do we get proof? Because I don't think there is solid proof to be had in this situation without choosing some sort of action. I think in order to prove it, we would just be giving ourselves another step. So first, we need to decide whether we're going to do something about it.
Yeah.
Second,
Yes.
we need to dissolve what we're going to do about it.
So,
We can
No, go ahead.
free Hale.
You.
We can try to get his mother to notice him and just let nature take its course. Or we can attempt to separate him from his captors and then regroup.
I like the idea of trying to get in contact with the person who is possibly his mom. Because she might be able to help.
Or at least confirm if Hale is who we think it is.
Could
Mhm.
Lafrey get in touch with a
I
god?
assume we could
herself
build a
being
temple or
demigod?
something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if that's easier.
Secret
If
temple.
statues, the gods can look through the eyes of statues, so all we have to do is
Put eyes back.
get a statue that we know she'll notice and put it near Hale. Theoretically.
Mm.
With all the times to be so far from home. Damn it. If getting her to notice is the option we gonna go with, then we'll go with it. I'm more concerned with getting him away from his captors,
Yeah,
personally.
that's kind of number one priority to me, too. But we have to be smart about it, because that's the royal family, you know? They obviously want him captured.
The king wants him captured. We know that there are at least two factions in the immediate royal family themselves. The king and his daughter.
Daughter
Saphira,
seems-
she ain't said nothing to you in confidence, has she?
No.
Mm.
You're necessarily the best of friends. She tolerates my existence.
Not the read I got, but if you say so, I'll trust it. I'm still thinking like that was not. I'm still thinking getting that collar out from around his neck is gonna undo a whole lot of what they doing to him, but I don't got the brains for runes.
Between the three of us, we could get one brain cell for runes, probably.
Oh, I feel like you'll get a lot more than that. I've seen y'all in action. It is a lot more than a single one.
You hear a knock on the cellar door.
Oh, right.
God damn, there ain't no dustman down here.
Just a minute.
Balthy sticks his head through and says, "Hey, there's a moth up here looking for Morrigan."
What? Oh, is it?
Oh, is that where she at? Oh, we just looking
Gotta
down
go
here like a
perform.
bunch of fools. We should...
Oh, I thought she might be under here for the terrible excuse. Okay, I'm going up to
You
see
know, it was a good
Mahalia.
theory. It was
I
a
was gonna say,
good theory.
Lakey just goes up the stairs and just nods at Balthy as if they're like passing in the street. Doesn't say anything. Just this happens all the fucking time. Just
Yeah, people are always in your cellar.
Totally normal. We had to get stuff for the
See,
soup.
Balthy doesn't bat an eye. Well, Balthy can't bat an eye. He's a crocodile. But if he had eyelids, like a normal person, he would not have batted an eye.
Balthy doesn't dictate a thing.
Right. Mahalia is upstairs and says, "Morrigan, we have to go. It's time."
Okay. Sorry, I lost track of time. I'll see you guys later, I guess.
Yeah, when are you meeting up back up with us? What's that face about?
Well, are we trying to see the king's speech or not?
Lacey loudly rolls his eyes.
I know, but for the sake of some of our other conversations.
If the king's given a speech, would that leave the castle perhaps unattended?
Hale might be there.
Exactly. Oh, you mean at the speech?
No. Yes.
Oh.
Lacey gonna take out the compass of the tracker.
Need to know if he's leaving the castle for the speech. That should come at around noon. If
I'm gonna
speeches
give
are
you
any
a roll of
indication.
17 for you to confirm or deny the sentence. If I recall correctly, the entire royal contingent does show up for these speeches.
Correct.
And that includes Hale. I assume.
That would include hail. Because if
Mm.
all of the guard are here, if
Mhm.
the guy whose metal underwear is too short, what's his name?
Galleon.
Yeah, that one. If he has to be there and he's in charge of watching hail,
Hale would have to be there with him.
right?
Mhm.
It makes more sense to bring hail, especially if no one else is aware of the reason why hail has to be there.
Mhm.
Sometimes you
Hmm.
get in order to do something, you just do it without questioning. Most dangerous kind of soldier.
Mhm.
Agreed.
I ain't saying it
With
has to
that
be
thought,
today.
and you guys planning on going to the festival, I'm going to pause here for our bathroom break. We'll be back in 10 to 15 minutes, okay?
You.
A plus.
All right. We'll be right back.
Ba-dum-bum.
Oh man, I had it open on
It's
Twitch,
fine.
but I didn't turn the sound on the whole time.
Buddy.
We'll fix it in
Yeah.
post. We'll fix it in post.
It's our
Fix
brand.
it in post. Go
Bathroom
team.
time.
Go team. I'm so curious about about. No, you're good. Oh, gotcha. No, I don't know if this is something that should actually be said in game, but I'm so curious about if any of this stuff is at all connected to Tethys shenanigans as well, because it feels like this king wants to be on the bad side of multiple gods or goddesses. Uh, so yeah. I'm also here like, could Lawfree help? I can always say her name 3 times. And if you can we steal him? Can you help steal him away? Oh. Hmm. Sorry about that. Yeah. 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 I'm sorry. I've got Doug. He's going to dive headfirst into stupidity uh, at most opportunities. If he feels like, oh, this is the right thing to do, he's just going. He's
No,
not thinking. Yes, so to speak. Oh boy.
Oh.
I will be right back.
What if my Oh. Oh.
Is what?
I love that.
But brings joy to your
Yeah,
life.
I understand that, Crota. Poor buddy, we had an unexpected thunderstorm last night, and he freaked out, and I did my best to calm him down, and he slept in today. And then because his sleeping schedule was off, he didn't want to come back inside. He's like, "No, it's not my bedtime." And I'm like, "Bitch, yes, it is your bedtime. Get in here." And he does this thing where he won't take his treat that he likes, but so you kind of have to like toss it on the ground to pretend you don't notice it. So then when he happens to casually stroll by, he'll be like, "Whoa!" and just like go nuts over it like he like found a wild Pokemon or something. Yeah, you. Yeah. So he Oh, 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 commit crimes for the cheese. Absolutely.
The cheese text. The cheese text.
Hex. Oh my, I love that so much. I used to take a little bit of cheese and be like, "Oh no, a chew," and just like toss it in their food bowl. Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
oh no,
you,
my hand slipped.
you think of it.
Give me my cut. Yeah.
Right? So an orange cat. I love vocal animals, even though I'm insane and I have the most vocal animal. Yeah, you. Would you get along with an orange cat? Would you talk back and forth? Yeah. I love dumb animals.
So endearing.
Buddy.
Oh.
I love dumb cats. I love dumb animals. One of my previous roommates, she had 2 cats, and one of them was named Mister, short for Mr. Mistopheles, and he was one of those like quote unquote dumpster cats, even though it was like a broken down house and not a dumpster. He would trust anybody, so we kind of had to make sure he didn't like get outside and be like, no, you can't, don't go to traffic, buddy. He was the sweetest. He loved cuddling, but he couldn't figure out doors, and he was just this clumsy big ball of dumb fur, and I loved him so much. He is. My roommate at the time warned me that I can't really leave my bathroom door open because he had a tendency he wouldn't use a litter box, he would go in the tub. 'Cause that's what he do.
Mm.
Bless his heart. So I was like, yeah.
Cat growing
Parrot.
up that we got that was I got her or him, excuse me, when he was like 3 or 4 days old. Like mom died very early after, like very shortly after they
Aw.
she gave birth to all these little kittens. So a friend of mine was like, "Hey, if you want a cat, like come over here. I'll give you everything you need. Like you'll have to hand feed him for a while." I was like, "Okay." So when I first got the cat, I didn't know if it was a boy or a girl. You couldn't tell. It was a fluff ball. It was just a ball of fluff.
Ooh.
Couldn't tell. So I bring this cat home and I'm like, I have no idea what to name it. So my mom's like, well, name it Face because it's by Face that you got the damn thing. And I'm like, cool. Okay. Turned out to be a boy. 100%. Thought it was a dog. Like refused to go in a litter box. Like was like, no, I don't go in a litter box. You will open the back door for me so that I can do my business outside like the rest of the animals in this house do. Because we had dogs. And so it would go outside, it would do its business, and then it would come back in. And my mom was like, I've never in my entire life seen a cat that acts that way.
I
It
love that.
also was very tiny, even like when by the time it was like 2 years old, people were like, "How old is that cat?" I'm like 2. Like, are you sure? Like, he's just tiny. But he liked to fight squirrels and raccoons. Um,
Oh.
he did eventually lose one of those fights, but
Oh.
hey, he was a scrapper. I called him Scrappy. Everybody else in the family called him Faith. I was like, nah, that's Scrappy. That cat has come home with more scratches on his body than any of our other animals.
Why are you looking at me like that?
No. That's pretty great. Oh,
My
Aries.
yeah. Nice.
Oh! I thought it
Oh.
was the god of war. That's why I was That's really funny. Sarah, the only reason I was like, "Oh, that's funny," was because I thought it was a direct irony about him being a gotcha. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, not absolutely wrong though.
My mom and my aunt are the reason I will never own birds. Just to let y'all know. I don't care what anybody
I need to
says.
hear this story.
Birds are disgusting.
No.
So we'll start with my aunt because she started it. My aunt, who I actually have gone no contact with, she was one of the first people I went no contact with because she's cranky, old, and doesn't know how to cook. That story is for another day.
Sorry.
um, No, it's one of those stories that makes the cousin rounds every once in a while. We're like, "Hey, remember when Aunt Kathy tried to make ham and failed?" But that's a story for another day. She loved birds, and I recently found out she got rid of all of her birds, but she had, for the majority of my childhood, an African gray macaw and,
Oh,
uh, more than one, and she had another macaw. So yeah, no. She had 2 different types of macaws. I only remember that because she had the African gray, and then she had one that, like, you see it, like, I can't remember what it was. I know it was blue and yellow, and there's probably some red in there. I hated that damn bird. I wanted to murder it several times. Um, but she would bring the birds up, and, like, my mom would watch them when she would have to go out of town and stuff like that, and those birds, knew how to get out of their cages and had did so much damage, not just to my parents' house, but, like, I ended up, when I moved back in at one point, I brought my own furniture that I bought and paid for with my own money, and they not only did my aunt's birds tear up the whole entire couch, but the birds that my mom bought and raised also tore up the house and would just, like, my mom would just let them crap wherever they wanted. And
oh,
so my mom had um several different types of birds, and because of all of the different experiences, at one point, like, several of them got out and we never saw them again. um I think my mom blames me for it. It was not my fault, but yeah, I've had terrible experience with those birds, and I will never own a bird in my entire life. One of them tried to bite me, and I kicked it, and I think that's why it never liked me after that.
oh yeah, their bites I heard are nasty.
Yay!
Hey, guide.
Yay.
Hey, guide. Don't forget to unmute. Sure.
Believe so?
And we're back. This time with audio from both the guide and the players. How's it hanging,
Hooray!
guys?
Woo!
Here, let's check and make sure I'll unmute.
No,
You're
I
good.
can see my volume bar. I'm unmuted.
Just
I
wanted to make
forget.
sure.
I apologize. But we are back. I'm
Okay,
gonna say
then.
that we are gonna time skip to the point where you guys get to Lusari. At the train station. You guys have ridden the train there. You've taken. I'm going to assume that you're gonna take the one closest to Briar's clinic, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that Briar can try to drop off a medieval latte.
Listen, it's a peace offering.
I feel like
So
we're
you
all
get off.
outside, like, watching, making sure, like, the interaction goes okay.
Well, you get off the train and you start making your way towards the clinic. And as you approach, you see that the clinic has a closed sign on the door.
That's to be expected.
There's not a note for you. It just says closed.
That's not good.
Is there anywhere else you want to go to that you could find him at? Or is this the sign that he don't want to be found right now?
Thing I don't know.
I mean, for
This
the
is
whole
the
place.
only-
He's the only doctor in town. He wouldn't just
Well, he's
not
not.
do doctor
but-
stuff. Unless he's I don't know, unless he's on the run. I don't know.
I don't think he's on the run. I mean, surely not.
I mean, couldn't
Criminal
the place
romance. I didn't know you
function
had it in you,
without-
Doctor.
What can I say? I have a type. Anyway, Unfortunately, I don't know where Zev lives. This was the only rendezvous point I
You do
knew
know
of.
where Ziv lives. Ziv lives in the clinic.
Oh, he lives in the clinic.
He lives in a very much converted storage room. Your first discussion that you had in a side room, that was his room.
Right. Right, there was a mix. Yeah.
Let's just knock on the door. I'll go in. I don't care.
What?
Lazy hands him a lockpick set. Like, yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Do you
It
think
feels
that maybe he's still out where we set up for the fire, still helping people?
maybe.
Doesn't he work night shift?
He does,
So wouldn't he be sleeping now?
logically, but
So shouldn't we come back later when he's awake?
yeah, that sounds logic. And
You
I
could
think
leave him a note.
I could.
Do you have keys or anything? You could just like leave it inside for him.
Lacey again holding up that lockpick set, like, and if you don't have a key.
We've got a key.
We might call it a
Helper.
skeleton key, even. Opens all kinds of doors.
Oh, good grief.
All right, we'll okay, somebody hold my tea, please.
Boss.
Hold my tea and watch this.
Okay, you got both hands? You got it?
He nods
You're
very
solid?
eagerly.
Okay.
I got it.
So he lets go. He consults his journal, see if there's a terrible page, and starts writing. Sorry to intrude. Thought you may need this. Hope you rest well. Okay, and we'll leave it at the front desk. Mr. DeLacy, if you don't mind.
Oh, not at all. He's gonna lock the door.
You really don't have keys.
I think because
I don't-
it's so early in the morning and the business is closed and people by now have seen Briar, nobody's concerned about a huddle of people, and you have enough people to block the fact that you're picking the lock, and nobody inside presumably watching. I'm just gonna let you guys get away with it till the door's unlocked, so you're able to go set it on the front counter.
Is no
with your
one
note.
in?
No,
Yeah,
the
I'm a little-
receptionist isn't there. There's no patients. It is
That-
super quiet.
That's weird.
That's really weird, right? I was saying that earlier. Like,
I don't
is
think
this
there's
like
a
a
grudge
problem?
happening here. I think something's wrong.
Yeah.
So believe
Yeah.
there was a fire last night.
All the
He's
more
gonna-
reason for this place to be open? I don't know. It's a
Would be
hospital.
bumping in here.
Do we know if the receptionist lived
Oh.
in that area and survived the fire?
So much talking about like just the receptionist as much as like it's strange to me the whole hospital is closed. You know? Like that no one could come in? That it
I
can't
agree.
function?
There were a whole shit of doctors at the side of the fire. Maybe everyone's being treated there, and therefore there would be nobody here.
Fair enough.
I could be wrong. I ain't a doctor.
Can I do an investigation check?
You want to?
Just to see if anyone left any notes or anything specifically to be like, hey, this is where we're at. This is what's going on. I got a 6.
You don't see anything.
I see shit.
Could I potentially give Fox a hand looking for stuff and help
Sure,
me
go
roll?
for it.
Yeah, I roll again.
Team Spy.
Got a 5.
No.
Nope.
I got a 15 if I'm allowed to look for stuff.
You are allowed to
Since
look.
I was also skeptical.
There are
Okay.
no notes. It's the building just seems empty, like they were closed. It is a
Silver money
clinic
around.
though, it's not a hospital. So like there's different ones set up around the city, but
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
it is I think you would realize on a 15, it is strange that they didn't at least let Briar know why they were gonna close the clinic for the day.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he
Okay,
knew where
next
Briar was
assumption.
staying. He could have, sent a note or a courier or dropped by to say, "Hey, we're closing the clinic," or had somebody go tell them. Like, you'd think that there would be some sort of indication, but nothing.
Okay, yeah, I guess I relay that sentiment about like, well, it's weird that no one would say that to you, Briar, isn't it?
Well,
I don't know what's going on.
the chaos last night, I think, affected Zev in a way that it was triggering memories for him.
Mm-hmm.
Since he and I served in the same war. So he's probably having a crash out. As in, he's just done for a while. So
maybe we get out of here, I'll relock the door, and we carry on our way.
Mm-hmm.
probably a good
Alright.
idea.
Alright.
We'll give him his space.
There ain't a key under the mat sort of situation here, is there? To
That would be
relock things. This is mostly for getting things open. It don't really work for getting them back closed. Unless I can reverse lock pick that door and lock it back up.
Can we lock it from the inside and then shut the door?
I think you can
Shut
lock
us
it from
out?
the inside and close it.
Okay,
Cool.
right on.
Okay,
Unless DeLacy wants to show off.
No. He's too uncertain of this being a success or not, and he's not going to risk that.
So we'll say Briar locks the door preemptively while it's still open and kind of signals everybody to go
Get
outside.
out.
He daddle.
And he'll close it carefully behind him and goes on the merry way.
We shall skedaddle. Scoot even.
Scoot!
For you, do you want Mahalia there with you on your lockpick break-in, or did you send her
Yeah.
along to the festival
Jeez.
without you?
I guess
Jeez,
I should have
Cole.
double checked if I was traveling with you guys or if I left before.
Hashtag let Mahalia do crime.
Let Mahalia do crime.
So I mentioned this in the in-between sessions, but you guys at one point did see Mahalia cast a spell, or not a spell, use a move that was called Do You Know Who I Am? And no one questioned it because it's not a magician move, it's a spy move. This is not that weird for Mahalia.
Nice.
Mahalia has some spy skills.
Mahalia hangs out with Lakey's grandmother, and Lakey knows what his grandmother doesn't bat an eye at, so he's pretty sure that Mahalia would absolutely be down to help them kidnap Hale. Honestly,
Yeah.
his own biggest concern with
No.
Mahalia is making sure that she runs the right way during the escape.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Yeah.
That is
Need one of
Or
those
that
toddler
no one
leashes
else
on
finds
her.
out about the plan or something. That would be another concern.
And I'm gonna say you guys head towards the performance of the morning. Morgan, what do you want to do for your final performance of the festival?
No, I should have thought about that during the break.
You could just
Oh, no.
you just do
We
whatever.
could just gloss over it if you don't have anything in mind.
Nothing in particular in mind, but it's got elements of things that she's already showed off before. It's the biggest and coolest one. I don't know. Do you want another scarf, Lakey?
Sure, let's do the whole
Where's my
set. Why
scarf?
not?
You can roll. I think Lakey's just
Oh,
got advantage. Is
Thank
all.
you, thank you. You're so generous. I can roll. Yes, madam. I see how this is going. All right. Do you want the 19 or the 18? Which one would you
Well,
prefer? Because
why do
these
you always roll so
I mean,
fucking well for this?
I would prefer.
Because-
Wait, hang on. I would prefer Aesop's natural 20 that I just rolled.
Okay.
Yeah, because I rolled a 19 as
Okay.
well, so
Oh.
No, legitimately,
shit.
natural 20.
Wait,
Nice.
for who?
For Aesoph, the performer that previously performed under the name of Theo, under his
for
sister's
him.
renaming.
He's going under Aesop now?
You see Aesoph do one of the whistles with the I don't know, I can't do it, but one of the whistles
Wolf
that one
whistle.
does with one hand.
Yeah.
And
That's cute.
waves your handkerchief.
All right. Yeah, shoots a little smirk
Nice.
his way. Wasn't the intended person necessarily, but that's cool. He did well. There's a reason like he had advantage. I don't know what to say.
Oh, is there now?
It just fluked in the other.
Well, I just imagine like it was headed in a
I
a
think
lakey
he's sitting,
direction,
like-
and Aesop
I
just grabbed it right in front.
Yeah, Aesop is sitting like probably in the row right in front of Lakey
Yeah.
and has thought that all the subconscious eye contact and or whatever that Morrigan's throwing Lakey's way, whether it be from a these are my friends and they're grounding sort of way or a
Mhm.
hey that rabbit guy sup sort of way, and I'm gonna leave it undisclosed which one literally everyone in this game, including my dice, think it is. And yeah, no, I think Aesop was just sitting right in front of
Yeah.
Lakey and caught all of those vibes and was like, and the scarf? Yes. And Lakey's like, I don't know how. You know what? I'm gonna let him enjoy your scarf, pal. Enjoy that. I love that for you.
Lakey, as this performance goes on, you realize that this is also your last day, where you don't have to go back to work. Tomorrow, you have to go back to work again.
Unless.
Your favorite thing.
I'm sorry, you were saying things, but I was dissociating both in and out of character, so I don't have to pay attention to them.
I will say a couple more performances come and go. You see Aesop rinse out his hair again because when he does his firebending performances, the ash from the fire gets caught in his water hair and turns it black. So he has to rinse his hair out after performances.
And of course,
after a couple
Doug
of
is mesmerized
performances-
by the fire. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. He definitely has your handkerchief put somewhere safe so he does not catch that on fire. But he's performing by himself. His sister is not there.
Good for him.
And after a couple of other performances, you see 2 carriages arrive escorted by 10 knights in full dress armor. DeLacy,
Mm-hmm.
you would see that your tracker is pointing directly at the second one of those carriages.
I feel like the compass that tracker is on like bracelet that sits just on the inside of his coat sleeve.
Yeah, it
Oh
says
no,
in
it's
the
his
move
shirt
that
sleeve.
it says on the move that it's kind of compass shaped, so it could be a watch, or you could just have it as like a pocket watch or something.
Like
of that nature.
I'm picturing a regular sized compass, but it is has been attached to like a leather strap or something to just be around his wrist so he doesn't lose it.
As I begin
it's
the
in his
scene,
shirt
because
sleeve.
I'm trying to be cognizant of time, please feel free to stop me at any point if you'd like to ask questions or do anything or make any checks. But we only have about half an hour, so yes.
At some point, Saphira did go home and change.
Yes, we were going to say that happened during the time skip.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, actually, on that note, your lady's maid was not there.
She finds that
Oh
suspicious,
no.
but also thinks that maybe went with the family. The family probably is part of the entourage with the king and went
It
with
could
them.
be her day off. You don't know.
Mm.
You haven't really talked to her all that much. You're not really sure.
Like she notes it and was like, huh, okay, and then gets dressed and goes about her business. Puts her hair up in like a big poofy bun at the top of her head. Just all of the hair on the top of her head.
Okay.
That entourage rolls up and DeLacy just locks in.
Yeah. On that note, again, please feel free to stop me with any questions if you want to do anything or if you want to make any checks. I'm trying to be cognizant of time, so we'll see how this goes. The king's carriages arrive, escorted by 10 knights in full armor. Out of the second carriage comes Galleon Vale in his super shiny, super fancy armor, more fancy than the other knights who mostly rode in on horseback. Hale O'Connell, who you guys have met previously, and Casimir Strand, who Lakey knows, but I don't think the rest of you guys have met, who is the train conductor, who is the otter. Hale appears much as you've seen him before. His clothes are fine and tailored, and he's wearing the same scarf around his neck that covers his collar. Cass is dressed much differently than you've seen him, Lakey, wearing a similarly tailored suit that is way fancier than his work uniform. Still has a pant leg for his tail, though. The royal family exits their carriage by order of birth. The prince is first, emerging to cheers and waves. The princess follows soon after, and kind of carries Hale in tow with her to the stage. She waves to the crowd smiling while Hale sheepishly hangs back. Then follows the king and queen. The king's hair is dark brown, turning silver at the temples, and he wears a very defined beard. His clothes are regal but pale in comparison to his wife, who is a black elf with curly white hair. Her dress is white, but it is decorated heavily in floral patterns with glowing green gemstone that glow even in the broad daylight. So this thing is neon even in the light of day. It matches the golden crowns above their heads. The king's attire is a dark green with a large glowing green brooch pinned to his cape. As the king takes the stage, he appears flanked by 4 knights. One of them is Galleon. Galleon is at the very forefront, the very picture of bravery. Following not far behind are 2 players and a knight Zafira would recognize, Tayron Windhorn. The player on the left is a female knight, short with ambery red hair, fox-like ears, and a tail, but a human face, making her look very much like she escaped from Inuyasha. Nice. Her dress armor is clearly tailored to her proportions, as it appears very cinched at the waist. She seems very stern and confident, holding her head high. The knight on the right is a tall black elven man with short cropped gold hair and multiple earrings. He also has curling facial tattoos on his forehead and face. He seems less comfortable with being in front of a crowd, which is much bigger than the prior days where you guys have seen. People have obviously turned up to see the king. And he is keeping to the rear. Does anybody have any questions? Want to make any checks?
I would like to insight both Hale in front of everybody. Do I know that guy?
Okay.
So first,
give me a roll, 1 for each.
Okay, so first I'll go for Hale, the 13.
Okay. 13. Hale is definitely a little...
Uh-oh.
Second,
I'm sorry, you're roboting a little bit.
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, when you were saying stuff before, I will say on a 13, you would see Hale looks a little bit uncomfortable being in front of this many people. He's not used to being in front of a crowd of this magnitude.
Okay. Is he he's like tugging at anything, like tugging at the scarf maybe, or?
No, he's just sticking very close to the princess.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely more comfortable, being around her.
Okay. And second one is for head tattoo guy.
Yeah.
Fuck the 2.
You can't get a read on him. You've never spoken to this guy. I don't know that you've necessarily seen him before as a knight, because normally they wear helmets and in full guard when they're on duty, but you haven't really seen this guy before. So you can't make heads or tails of why he's so uncomfortable. Yes.
Can I try to get an insight read on Galleon?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a roll.
Galley. I got a 7.
Gully, oof.
He's still a jerk. But other than that,
Face is still pretty punchable, but yeah.
he looks pretty proud of being on stage, but that's about the best
What
you
about
get.
what about the king? I'm really focused in on that king.
Yeah, go for it.
Can I get a read on him? 11.
He looks very confident. Not a concern in the world. He thinks he's he's
What
getting
a
ready to present to
shithead.
his adoring people.
Remembering what I had seen in the journal about the king and queen fighting, can I try the queen?
Give me a roll.
Like, oh, you're posturing, but are you pissed? And can I see you looking at anything to like see where that rage is coming from? 9.
She looks pretty pleased. She seems okay. Everybody's smiling.
Lacey, I need you to lock the fuck in, please.
The king approaches center stage, his family standing by, and addresses the people. Citizens of Starlight City, visitors from afar, welcome to our fair city, and may you find all the joy it has to offer. Our city prepares diligently every year for this festival, held in honor of our dearest Prince Eri Starlight, who on this very day marks his 22nd birthday. He hugs his son around the shoulders with a proud smile, and the prince smiles sheepishly. While this is a time for joy and celebration, I speak to you today with feelings of profound sorrow. Our fair city has suffered a blow to its core at the hands of the shadows. While the investigation still continues, we feel confident that the criminals will be brought to justice for the damage to the lives and property in Greenhill, as well as the heinous slaughter of the 16 individuals who were so gracious as to display their exhibit, Curiosity of the Deep Seas, to steal their main attraction, a mermaid, who was quite difficult for them to obtain. Rest assured, we will not stop until these people face consequences of their actions. Aid will be provided to those who have been affected by these tragedies.
We didn't know such a thing.
Here, here.
Nobody!
One of these things is not like
Not
the
like
other.
the other.
At the hands of the shadow.
Yeah.
The shadow.
Today, we turn to the bright future. Our city has been blessed with a number of great minds, but none so clever as Lord Casimir Strand. He gestures to Cass to step forward. For those of you who have not met him, he is I believe I said 6-foot tall otter. Normally, he's wearing a conductor's uniform, so if you had seen him, you might recognize him from there. But today, he's wearing a very nicely tailored suit. And the king says, some of you may have even seen him running one of the trains on the Lusari Loop. Our very own working lord, Lord Casimir. Cass looks a little bit uncomfortable at all of the attention. He has been hard at work improving and building new trains. It is my honor to announce that with the royal family's patronage, a new station will be built here at the center of Western Lusari's market, and 3 new trains will be added to ease commute times and reduce the time between trains. Lord Casimir Strand, everyone. Cheering erupts. Cass bows and happily returns to not being the center of focus. Speaking of joyous news, the princess has an announcement she'd like to make. On being cued, the princess turns to Hale quickly, whispering something to him that takes him aback. Eyes wide. She gives him little time to respond before she takes center stage. Yes, go ahead.
Insight check?
Try to read that bitch's lips. That's a 9 again. God.
Can I help somehow?
You can all make checks if you would like to.
All
Okay,
right.
yeah.
If you think you are watching Hale and not the king.
I've just been like glancing at all of them. I rolled a 16, but I was mainly looking at Talon just to see if he sees that I'm in the crowd, or like get a read on him. I didn't notice who.
Tyrion has not spotted you.
Okay.
I got an 11.
I rolled a 5.
I got an 8.
Oh,
I got a 14.
I got a rock.
I got a
So I,
rock.
so I said I was rolling to try and read her lips. Can I try again for an insight on Hale? Because it's a different thing.
You can. I will let you do that. What did you say, Mel?
I also got an 8.
Okay. So the only person who rolled, I think, even in the region of a success, was Briar. Briar, the best that you can make out is that the princess told Hale to do something, and Hale got very confused very quickly. DeLacy, what did you roll?
I rolled a 19.
Oh, Hale, the princess has told Hale something that is so confusing that he has no idea what she's talking about. She's given him some kind of instruction that makes no sense. Like, he doesn't have context for it.
Mm-hmm.
Does it look like he like booted down? Or I guess I wouldn't know. Never mind.
No, he's fully conscious. He just doesn't understand the words that she just said to him.
So he's gonna brace to get ready to just spring into action if he has to.
I gotta grab Hale and run.
As the king steps back to give up the spotlight for a moment, the princess takes a deep breath and lets it out. Citizens of Starlight City, I have for so many years counted you all as my friends. It is good news, yes, but bittersweet in the end. My father has lovingly found a match for me, a marriage, but one that will take me far from the city that we call home. I am to be married to the Prince of the Avis. While I am told he is lovely, he could not make the journey here due to his obligations at home to escort me back to the country I'm soon to call home. Small, sad, appreciative noises from the crowd. You hear someone say they're making her wear a feather duster, who is quickly shushed. The princess resumes, this marriage would open new trade agreements with Undrana, ensuring an era of prosperity and support, and I'm not going. A look comes over her face of absolute determination and fury as there is a gasp from the crowd, specifically the rich portion of the crowd. The king, as well as the others on stage, seem shocked.
He starts straight up just clapping. Just
I'm ready to go.
The man you
slow accelerated clap too, like it ramps the fuck up.
Getting back to her, she says, the man you call king does not give a damn about me or any of you. I don't know what his goal is in creating ties with Undrana. Perhaps it is only to be rid of me, but you must not allow him to. Don't touch me. Galleon has stepped forward to try to stop her, a firm grip on her arm. She starts
Let her talk!
Let her speak! Let her speak!
She starts to shout, my father is a fraud and a murderer, and this event is a farce to refill the coffers of the crown. His words are nothing but gilded lies. Trust nothing he says or does. Ask where your gods are, and then when you believe what I say, look to the shadows. On cue, a portal opens on stage, and people dressed in all black, faces concealed, pour from the portal or teleport from someplace unseen. 7 stand before you while more appear within the portal waiting. One of them takes a full running leap at the king, sword drawn, but is stopped short by the queen, who throws up a barrier around the 3 members of her family who are near her. Galleon and the other knights draw their sword. The princess, still held fast by Galleon, shouts at Hale, go! Run! And I would like all of you to roll initiative.
That's 20 motherfuckers! Yeah! Huh! Huh! Let's go! Let's go!
And it is almost exactly 10 o'clock, so I'm thinking that we roll initiative now, and then next time we start at the top of this battle in 2 weeks' time.
I would like to use my nat 20 to say fuck that and throw down Lakey's move right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Blink onto the stage, grab Hale, blink off of the stage, like into a side road or something, open the portal to his house, close the portal, disappear.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Well, I rolled a 17.
A hot 9.
15.
It's a hot one though.
I rolled a 4.
I'm typing up notes furiously. Leke grabs the boy and runs.
And pulls a full fucking Narnia, utilizing the portal that he established on day 1 in his wardrobe.
Nice.
Man, Lakey, you didn't work today, but you sure as hell clocked in.
Mhm.
Yes.
Hell yeah, brother.
Gotta get that bread one way or another.
Lowercase c, capital case
Besides-
locked.
A fight broke out at the King's Speech? I had to go home. It's such a shame I wasn't able to be there.
It really is.
Plan
It
A
really is
part
a
1
shame.
accomplished. Let's go.
Wait.
What
Now I
about
can
the
finally-
princess?
I could finally say this. Now you're thinking with portals.
This is a triumph. Someone make a note here. Huge success. Those are the only 2 lines I remember from the song. You're welcome.
Yeah. It took me a
Do
hot
what
second. 'Cause
we
I was,
must because we can.
There it is.
Hey.
For the good of
Anyway,
all of
this
us.
cake's great.
Except the ones who are dead.
Oh.
I know the whole song. I don't have a problem.
DeLacy, what- DeLacy, what is your initiative roll?
That's a hot 9.
All right. Fox, what was your initiative roll?
You could put me down for 5.
Okay. Briar, what is your initiative roll?
A hearty 11.
Ah.
All right. And Boss, what is your initiative roll?
Sorry. I was trying to comment on Oh, it was a 15. Is that what you're asking?
Yes, that was what I was asking. And I have Saphira's as 17.
Yep.
And Morrigan's as 4.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, I've got everybody's initiative rolls. Lakey, I did want to really quickly go over. If you choose to do the blink and go through the portal and close it, that means you cannot return to the battle. There will also be an added consequence of you potentially being seen grabbing Hale. Not maybe specifically you, but they may have seen a rabbit.
Ooh, we gotta follow the white rabbit?
Well, I think he's kind of a tawny brown, but yes.
Oh, that's right.
Hey, listen,
I
if you have the
mean-
ability to do the right thing in the moment, you do the right thing in the moment. Gosh darn the consequences.
Good luck.
That's right. That's right.
Alrighty. Well, I think that's our session, gang. I'll see you back here in 2 weeks to see how his battle wraps up.
Ooh.
That was crazy.
Let's go.
Have fun, everybody.
Oh my god.
I'll miss
Good
you.
night, everybody.
I don't have
Mwah.
anything that does damage. I have no moves that do damage.
Ew.
Interesting.
Distraction.
I
You're a
do, but I'm very
distraction.
one-on-one.
You're right. You're right.
You guys can
Distraction.
you can all take a page out of Lakey's book and just leave.
To be
You
fair,
don't
you
have
don't.
to be in this fight. Just saying.
True, you do not. Also, of note, all of you have weapons that you can use. It doesn't have a move. You just would attack with a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
I
Or
can't
you
wait
could
to
do an
use all
arm
my
strike.
knives. I have so many
Boss
knives.
Boss has a giant hammer.
Back-to-back
I
spy
love that.
machine, Fox?
What?
Back-to-back spy stab machine?
Yes.
Very nice.
I'm picturing the music video in my head right now.
I was gonna say I'm gonna be really sad to miss the Fox and DeLacy choreographed routine.
We gotta pick our song, bro.
Oh, dirty things in love, so sweet.
All right. Well, thanks for coming, gang, and listening to the King's Speech, which the princess absolutely just interrupted. I will see you
And
guys in
hijacked.
2 weeks.
Yeah, he didn't get a chance to do his backflips.
Aw, you get your chance, buddy.
All right. Good night, you guys.
Good night.
Night.
Night.